What is up, everybody? It's still morning. It's still morning. Hold on just a second. All right. Let me go back here real quick and grab my... Oh, great. As soon as I start recording, I start sneezing. I may record this just for shits and giggles. So I can show my doctors the next time I go to the damn doctor and tell them, hey, there's something wrong here. All right. Let me finish sneezing and then we'll get back to the video. All right, so my goodness, guys, it has been crazy, freaking crazy. Oh, let me grab something to drink here real quick. Oh, just another one of those things I'm gonna have to throw out. Okay. Let me grab this one right here. Okay. So, I'm sitting here at the Atlanta OC, of course, in Atlanta, Georgia. I decided to do a 34-hour reset, so I set my next available time for 6 a.m. Tuesday morning, because I'm not driving during my REM cycle. And then come Saturday, next Saturday, I will switch it up and do a 34 into Monday. That way, I can get this whole thing turned around, because I was going to run recaps, but my recap hours are like kind of crazy. So I only ran the first day. I come back on the 12th, and I only ran, what was it? I only ran an hour and 56 minutes, because that day I picked up the trailer and had to take it over to the shop. Or actually, I picked up a trailer, drove it around to the other side over here, parked, and the next morning, actually, no. I pulled in that night, dropped the trailer that I had. No, that's not how that worked. My bad. Got here the night before. I was parked over there in the bobtail parking. Got here the night before, parked in the bobtail parking. From the bobtail parking, I came over here, picked up a trailer. And the trailer that I picked up was fine. But I was having problems with my AC. My AC wasn't working properly. So it was blowing like extremely hot air. So I went through the express bay and went through the express bay. They said, okay, well, we can't get to you till later this evening or later afternoon. I'm like, all right, cool. So come lunchtime, a little after lunchtime, probably about 1:30, 2 o'clock, I went over there. I said, hey, what's going on? They said, well, we can't get to you until after 4. I'm like, all right. So about 5, 6 o'clock, walk back in there, and they're like, yeah, we probably won't be able to get to you till tomorrow morning. I'm like, well, shit. Been sitting here all freaking day. I could have been on duty getting paid for this shit. But anyways, instead, which I probably should have been on duty getting paid for it, but it is what it is. So anyways, next morning, they wake me up about 5:30, right? About half an hour before I actually getting up anyways. And pull into the shop, and I get out of there probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So that first day, the 12th, I only had an hour and 56 minutes, right? Every day after that was closer to 9, 10 o'clock, or 9, 10 hours, 11 hours on the 14th, and 11 hours the day before yesterday. The day before yesterday? No. 11 hours on duty time, 11 and a half hours on duty time, plus driving yesterday. And then today it was like 5 hours. So I've got 11 hours and 14 minutes left on my clock, but I don't get any time coming back tomorrow, and I only have an hour and 56 minutes coming back to me on Tuesday. So I'll go ahead and do a 34. If I wanted to, I could probably roll tomorrow night. But I'm not going to do that. Just not going to do it. It's not worth it because I'm not going to get paid. If I pick up tomorrow, I'm not going to get paid tomorrow for it. So there's that. So it's just not worth it. But I can pick up early Tuesday and pick up something early Tuesday, roll with it. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, do another reset Saturday going into Monday, and then start my week next week easy peasy. You can kind of do that as a company driver over here at Schneider, so that's the way I'm going to do it. A lot of people are probably thinking, oh, you got all that downtime, what's going on? Well, I'm not trying to kill myself out here. That's what's going on. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not trying to kill myself out here. So there's that. But yeah, so sitting here in Atlanta, and yeah. But anyways, so I wanted to talk to you guys about something that happened. Matter of fact, it was right before my home time last time, and I was going to do a video about it before. I was like, no, I'll wait a little while. You know, I'll wait a little bit, and we'll see what's going on after that. Well, so I decided that I was going to do, instead of doing just Schneider videos, I was just going to do trucking videos, okay? Because I don't know what it is, but I just had this sneaky suspicion that somebody up there in Schneider is actually watching my videos. And that's fine, that's cool. You can watch all you want, I don't care. But I'm going to leave Schneider out of it from now on. So any videos I make are just purely for me. They're not to, you know, like represent Schneider or anything. Matter of fact, I don't represent Schneider anyways, but it is what it is. So anyways. So before home time, I was down in Savannah, Georgia, and I was supposed to be picking up a load out of Savannah, coming back up here to Atlanta so that I could relay here, or actually relay the load here, drop the loaded trailer, go park in the bobtail section, and go home. That's the plan, right? Even though it's a stupid plan, it's still a plan. But okay. So I'm sitting there waiting on this load, and well, technically what happened was I got there, they had the wrong trailer number in my workflow, so I ended up having to go across the street and park at a damn miniature truck stop, little bitty parking place. And so I parked there, and I'm like, all right, well, time's ticking. Hopefully we'll be able to get out of here pretty quick, which we all know that that's not going to happen pretty quick, right? So, but anyways, I'm sitting there and I'm waiting on something from dispatch letting me know that the load's ready to be picked up. I was one number off, guys. And when I actually rode by the place to look in the lot there to see where the trailers were at, I actually saw the trailer I was supposed to be picking up, but it is what it is. But anyways, so I was like, all right. So I'm going to go across the street over here. I'm going to park. I'm going to get this figured out, and then we're going to head home. Sure enough, I get over there. I park. I'm sitting there. I got my windows kind of open a little bit, just a crack, just like a little bit right up here at the top, right? And I noticed this moving truck that pulled in beside me over here on the right hand side. And of course they get out, they walk across over to the store, they go inside, they come back out, they got I notice things, right? You're a truck driver, or you're a trailer driver. You kind of notice things, right? So you notice that, people do certain things or act a certain way, or, people carry certain things or whatever, right? So I'm like, okay. So they got these bags full of, these got this bags, man. Not just they got grocery sacks full of snacks. So they put all their snacks in the vehicle. And I noticed that they don't get in the vehicle and leave. They go behind the truck. It's a moving truck now, mind you, and this moving truck's got airbags. So what does that tell you? That means one of those jokers in there, at least one of them, there's 4 of them now, mind you, at least one of them has a CDL, because in order to drive anything with airbags and air brakes, you have to have a CDL license. Either Class B, Class A, or Class B, right? I didn't think anything of it. Not a thing, right? And to be honest with you, I really don't care what people do. As long as they do it behind closed doors, I don't care. But anyways, so I'm sitting there, and I got my fan running over here. I've got my fan running right now, and it's blowing the cool air that's coming through that little crack in that window over there, and it's blowing across, and I smell it. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, all right, so, and I didn't think anything about it just yet until I got in the store, because I got out of the truck. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to roll up the windows. So I rolled up the windows, locked my door, went over to the store, grabbed me something to drink, came back towards the truck, and it was strong. Like, the smell of marijuana was absolutely just... Hold on. What item was substituted? Screw it. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So anyways, Okay. Sorry about that. Got a little distracted. All right. So, anyways, I had my phone out and I took a picture of their truck because I knew what was going on back behind me. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to confront these guys because this is ridiculous. They're getting high back there. They're going to get in this moving truck and they're going to start rolling. So basically what they're doing is they're going to get high and then they're going to start driving. So I go back there, of course, and I stood there for a second just to kind of see what was going on. And I was like, man, that's some strong shit, right? That's what I was thinking. So I said, so hey, I said, so what you're going to do is you're going to get high and then you're going to get in that truck and you're going to drive it. And the leader of the group, the guy that was driving the truck, says, well, how do you know it's drugs? I said, because I can smell it, you fucking moron. And I just shook my head and I walked back to the truck, got in the truck. I kept my windows up this time because I wasn't smelling that shit. The rest of the time I was going to sit there. And as soon as I left, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to call the company that they work for and I'm going to rat them out. Because here's the thing. If you're that stupid to drive your truck after you get high, or drive period, it doesn't matter if you're driving a truck or car or whatever, if you get high and drive, you're a fucking moron. And that's just all there is to it. So I call their company. The company is actually based out of Atlanta, but they have little pilot companies all over the place. This one, the truck that I had just took a picture of, was out of Savannah. So I called the number on the side of the truck. And I said, hey, do you allow your drivers to drive high? And the lady was like, well, no, we drug test our drivers. I'm like, well, then why is there's four of your workers behind my truck getting high? They were just behind my truck getting high. They're like, well, what is your name, sir? I'm like, yeah, you don't need my name. All you need to know is that you had 4 drivers in truck blah, 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 getting high behind my truck. And I said, I think y'all need to drug test them immediately. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Just do it immediately. I'm like, well, what truck is that, sir? And of course, I do my little thing, right? And says, oh, well, this truck's out of Savannah, Georgia. I'm like, okay. She goes, let me transfer you over there so you can say, you know, whatever. And I'm like, all right. So they transfer me over to the Savannah. And I said the same thing to the lady over there. You know, that they had 4 drivers getting high, or 4 of their workers getting high, getting in the truck and driving off. And she's like, yeah, well, we'll take care of this. We'll take care of this pretty quick. She said, we don't allow our drivers to get high and drive. Because if I'm not mistaken, in the state of Georgia, it's still illegal for marijuana. And then, of course, federally, if I'm not mistaken, it's still illegal as well. It's up to the states whether they want to legalize it or not. But federally, I'm pretty sure that it's still illegal. So, as a federal employee, basically, if you have a CDL, you're basically a federal employee, depending on whatever trucking company that you're with. And most of these moving companies are trucking companies because they haul goods from one place to another. They provide a service hauling goods, right? commerce. So yeah, you need your CDL taken away from you. If you're watching this video and you're the dumbass that was driving that truck, yeah, you need your CDL taken away. Period. But anyways, so I'm sitting here looking at the picture of the truck right now. It's all my sons moving in storage out of Savannah, Georgia. Clowns. But anyways, so, you know, I got to thinking about it. If I didn't tell on them, if I didn't say anything about this to anybody, that person would still be driving that truck around Savannah or around Georgia. Now, some of y'all are gonna get up in arms because you shouldn't have said nothing about it. You should have just kept your mouth shut. You should have just said nothing about it. Well, here's what happens if you say nothing about it. Let me give you an example of what happens if you don't say nothing about this shit and you just keep your mouth shut. So, let's say your wife, let's say you live in Savannah, Georgia, and your wife, Schneider, and your son, your little son that's like a little over a year old, little Nuck, is in a car seat behind your wife. Now, I don't know if this is federal or it's just the state of Georgia, but they passed a law to where the child has to be over the age of 2 for the seatbelt to be facing forward instead of backwards. Okay? It's like 30 pounds and over 2 years old. So, with that being said, all right, with that being said, she's driving down the road, and those morons that were smoking the reefer are behind her. And y'all driving down the road, down, I don't know what road out there, 16? Is it 16? 10? I don't know. But anyways, they're driving down the road, and then all of a sudden traffic stops in the middle of nowhere. They've been smoking. They smoked reefer for lunch. So they stopped for lunch, smoked a little bud, and then they started driving. Right? So here's a scenario. Big car crash. Alright, there's a car crash up in front, but these morons behind her are fixing to rear end her. Because they're not paying attention, because they're sitting back there laughing and eating their damn Funyuns and Slim Jims, and they're not paying attention at all. They're just laughing at all the goofy shit that's going on in the cab and not paying one bit attention to what's going on in front of them. Traffic slows down immediately, like instantly. They've been following her at about 100 feet away from her bumper the whole damn time. Traffic stops, she puts on her brakes. He can't stop because he's fully loaded with somebody's home furniture. Slams into the back of Shanae's car with little Nuck in the back seat. Instantly kills Shanae. Instantly. But little Nuck survives. But the thing about little Nuck is not only does he survive, but he's injured. But he's injured severely. Apparently, the crash broke his back and caused a little bit of brain damage. So now, you are a single parent, father or mother, I don't care what your preference is there. Father or mother, single parent, and now you got to take care of little Nuck and all his disabilities. The police, of course, arrest the 4 idiots that were in that truck smoking because they survived. All 4 of them survived, miraculously. But now that company right there is on the liable for $47 million on top of, because you're going to go after them for everything they're worth. You're going to go for the kill. You're going to go for them getting shut down and never hiring employees ever again. That's your goal. Because they are stupid enough to hire people who actually smoke pot and drive their trucks. So you're going after the kill. You're going to get you one of those lawyers that you see up on the billboards all the time with the big truck. They're standing on the truck, the hood of the truck, and they got the big old sledgehammer in their hands. You're going to get you one of those kind of lawyers. Now, company lawyers are no match for these lawyers, these other guys, because these other guys, they got all kinds of nasty tricks that they play. Nasty plays in their little playbook. All right, they're going to go after their logs. They're going to look at the logs. They're going to look at the calls on the cell phones. They're going to look at every little piece of information just to find why they did what they did. And they're going to go after every little bit of it. Well, if you didn't log correctly, they're going to go after you for your logs. And they say, well, the company didn't train you how to log properly. So they're not only going after you, they're going after the company. They're not just going after the idiots that were smoking the pot, but now they're going after the company, and they're going to make it personal, like severely personal, just because Shanae died because of a stupid fucking moron that was smoking pot with his 3 other buddies in the truck behind him. So now you're a single parent and you have to take care of little Nuck and all his medical expenses and everything. Now he may end up walking later on in life. We don't know until later on. But I guarantee you that the lawyer that takes your case is going to make sure that little Nuck gets the best care possible, the most expensive care possible, so they go after not only the 4 idiots in the damn truck that were driving high, but the company that hired them and they drive for. But by this time, the company may just wash their hands of them. If they find out what's going on beforehand, you know, they may end up washing their hands of it. And say, y'all on your own, get your own damn lawyer. But not only are these morons going to have to pay the price, they're going to prison. And the guy that had his pants down underneath his butt cheeks, he is going to be somebody's prison bitch. He already dresses the part, but he is going to be somebody's prison bitch. You can guarantee it. Because I looked into their eyes and I saw fear. And that tells me something. That tells me that they knew they were doing wrong. And when they scrammed out of there, they knew they'd done been caught. By not only a professional driver, but a professional CDL holder that works for Schneider National. That's me. They were caught by me. Somebody who is not going to play games with these dumbasses out here on the road. I'm not playing games. You want to drive like that? That's your business. But if I catch you doing that shit before you get back in your truck and start driving, I'm going to say something. Because that's the way it should be. Now, let's do the next scenario. So, I told them, right? Hopefully, The company that they were driving for did a piss test on them and found out they had been smoking the wacky tobacco, and they fired them. Best case scenario. Okay? Worst case scenario for them, it goes on some kind of DAC report for them, and no company, no legitimate company, is going to ever hire them again. Their driving careers are over. That's the best case scenario. Well, for me anyways. Worst case scenario for them at this point. If they actually pulled them in and piss tested them on the spot. Now, some people out here like to shave their bodies just to get away from the hair follicle test, but I'll tell you right now, if you shave your body, that company's probably not going to hire you. Just saying. Like, I have no other option but to shave my head because I don't have any hair that, like, right here. Like, there's barely any hair right here. So I have no other option but to shave my head because my hair doesn't grow out that long. They can get hair from my arms, my chest, my legs. Well, I've still got bald spots on my legs too right here, but it is what it is, right? But they can still get, hair from my arms and even underarm hair if they want to. Chest hair. So there's that. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, oh my flipping God, what other substitutions? Go back and get my damn mayonnaise, bitch. Because I'm telling you right now, you don't get my damn mayonnaise, we're going to fight. Anyways, so hopefully you guys have found this video informative. Hopefully you didn't find it too boring. But if you do like the videos, make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. And hopefully you'll see another video of me pretty soon. Just saying, we might see another video with me here in a little bit. So, all right. See you guys in a little bit. I'm out.